So today's video is going to be a little bit different than ones we've done before. But this is real life. So today what I'm going to talk about is how to deal with disappointment on weigh-in day, or disappointment with the scale. So I'm going to specifically talk about my recommendations or my tips on what you should do if you're disappointed one week, if you are in the process of losing weight. So if you are not in the process of losing weight, I'm not talking about that today, because that's, I feel like, is a totally different thing. Yeah, okay, so let me get into this. I feel like, based on everything I've researched and heard and talking to other people, weight loss, it's just not a steady climb down. Sometimes there will be good weeks and bad weeks. And Sunday, which was 2 days ago, I have my weigh-in. We weigh in every week on Sunday, and I gained a little bit. Technically, I gained 0.2 pounds. Now, 0.2 pounds, even saying it, it sounds ridiculous that I would be upset about it. But I was, because my weight loss honestly does not fluctuate a lot. I generally lose between 1 to 3 pounds every single week since I have been doing Weight Watchers. Once again, this is not the first little bad blip that I have had, but it was surprising. So the reason why it was surprising is I have been losing very consistently for maybe about like 3 months. I've been losing consistently that like 1 to 3 pounds a week, and I thought I was doing everything right. I was tracking all these different things, and so I was surprised when I saw that little bit of gain on the scale. I was definitely surprised on Sunday, especially because I'm getting so close to losing 40 pounds. I'm at 38 pounds lost right now, and man, it would be so cool to see 40, and I was hoping for that 40 number, but it didn't happen for me today. And so when disappointments happens, as with everything, I couldn't do anything to change that number necessarily, because that was just fact. But what I could do is the only thing I could do is kind of try to control how I react towards it. And so these are the tips, or these are what I did. So the first thing that I think is really helpful is, if you are having a disappointing weigh-in, is I think you have got to be completely brutally honest with yourself. So if you are doing Weight Watchers with me, as I'm doing, then you really need to make sure, first of all, did you track? And second of all, did you track honestly? Meaning, like, well, you know what I mean by tracking honestly. Like, did you measure out proper portions? Did you sneak in some extra snacks that you're like, those don't count, you know? Because they do. They really do. So if you're disappointed by your weigh-in, make sure that you are tracking honestly, and maybe that could help. And then, and personally, even though it might feel a little bit hard to be real and honest with yourself, I find that after I really think about and really evaluate myself and what I have been doing, that it helps for me to possibly understand why I didn't get the results I did, because then I can make changes. Then it feels like I have a little bit of control in this situation, which is really actually comforting. So when I had my disappointing weight loss, the first thing I did was I thought about my food, and I did a good job. I still that past week I tracked. I did everything well. I did try some new recipes, so I would recommend, especially if you're beginning at Weight Watchers, keep things simple. Do not try a bunch of different things. Do not go really crazy with things. Keep things simple and try to do like lighter versions or healthier versions of foods you already liked, because I think it is more sustainable in my experience, and also you'll just won't have as many disappointing meals. And so I did try some new recipes, and personally I do feel like my body might react differently to certain foods than others in regards to losing how much weight or how much I don't weigh. So I don't know if so for example, I think either you have seen or you will see where I do a full day basically of trying new recipes. And I think from that I learned I am not going to do a full day or so many new recipes in a week. So I did breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I think that much change might be too much for my body. And also it's hard for me because I can't evaluate, well, was it not eating breakfast? Because honestly, one thing that I did change is I stopped, maybe for the past couple weeks, I have not been eating breakfast, or if I have, it's just been like some berries or an apple, nothing really sustainable. The only time I've really had breakfast was when I made those egg muffins that I showed you guys, and even then it was hard for me to eat, and because I just don't like to eat in the morning. But when I do, it does help me not eat as much throughout the day. So I need to figure myself out. So look at yourself and try to analyze your eating. Like, are you eating honestly, and have you made any changes this past week that might affect the scale? So for me, I was tracking honestly, but maybe I tried too many recipes, or maybe I really need to get back to eating breakfast, like a real breakfast. When I say real breakfast, I mean I noticed if I eat protein, specifically eggs, which I don't really like eggs that much, especially consistently, it does help. And then after you look at your food, I really recommend look at your activity level. So actually, Eric and I forgot to talk about this for our last weight update. We have been doing a terrible job with exercising. We have basically stopped exercising, and we've definitely stopped exercising consistently for probably like 4 or 5 weeks, maybe a little bit more, I don't know, around that time. So the reason for that is it's getting hotter here in Southern California, and I was having a really hard time because when my body gets hotter, I have eczema on my skin, and it flares up, and it gets so irritated. And so to 100% honest, I use that as an excuse. I was like, oh, I can't exercise because I have eczema. But realistically, I should have asked Eric to put in the window AC unit that we have. I should have had him put that on. I should have tried different styles of exercise, maybe exercise that doesn't like raise my body temperature too much. Or it is tiny, but we have an above ground pool in our backyard, and and it's not deep, but I could swim around in circles, and swimming would not have irritated my skin. So that is something I really had to look at myself and be like, that was on me. You know, like I had to sit with that. Like I had to sit with my decision and realize that I made the decision not to exercise. I did get away with it for a while by just eating healthy, but I think that it caught up to me. That's what I believe. So if you do have a disappointing weigh-in, please remember that yeah, it sucks, like yeah, it's terrible, but it is also an opportunity for you to learn what works and what doesn't for your body. So I did learn that I could go for a little bit if I need a break or whatever from exercise. I can have a break from exercise and still lose weight, but I do not have a break for my entire life. That is one thing that I learned, is I do have to be able to get back to the exercise. I just can't be one of those people who maintains a healthy weight without exercise. That's just not who I am. Okay, so that's kind of the physical thing. Now I want to maybe turn this around to focus on something a little bit more positive, and I want to say that when you're in the process of losing weight, it can feel like it takes up a lot of your brain power. It affects you physically, and I do want to encourage you to please remember that no one is defined by their weight or their body, and the scale is not in control of you. If you can, do not give it the power to ruin your day or ruin your morning. It is just information that is being received to you. It does not mean you are a bad person. It does not mean you are a failure. You are just getting information about how your week previously, your choices you made, how it affected your physical body weight. But that is also easier said than done, right? So what I did is I was disappointed, but I analyzed it and I felt like I understood why I did not lose weight in the way that I wanted to last week. And so I made a plan to exercise, and I was going to start that day. So I went swimming in the pool. It was the first time, and it was a lot of fun. And then I felt really good about myself, and I'm really proud. And then I did something that was good for my heart and good for my mind, and I read. I know I shouldn't, but a lot of times I will work on Sundays, and just our business is still new, you know, so it requires a lot of time. But I gave myself the whole day, well, the whole rest of the day off, and I read and I relaxed, and I just took care of my heart and my head, and I kind of was able to get back into the space of reminding myself that I am happy. I am happy at the size that I am. I was happy when I was heavier, and I want to be happy in the future, no matter if I lose weight, no matter if I don't, no matter what happens. And I want to be content and satisfied with my choices as a whole. And so in the future, when I have a disappointing weigh-in, I don't want to punish myself in any way. Like, I don't want to get in a funk, but I am going to take care of myself mentally and emotionally that day. And for me, it is reading. Anyways, yes, so let me try to pull it all together, because I feel like I apologize if I was rambling a little bit. But this is all still very, very real, because it's only been 2 days. So if you have a disappointing weigh-in, please be honest with yourself. Be honest with how you did with food. Be honest with how you did for exercise, because that being honest will give you information you need in order to know if you need to make changes or if you don't need to make changes. So use that not as a tool to make yourself feel bad, but use that as a tool to get information. And then also realize that, yeah, you do feel disappointed, so take care of yourself. Do something if you can to relax, to enjoy yourself, but also remember that the scale is just a tool. It is not in control of you. And yes, and I am here if you need encouragement, or if you just need someone else to be like, oh, I weighed in and it wasn't what I wanted, and I will tell you, I know that is the worst. I'm so sorry. but you got this. You could do this because we can. We really, really can. All right, so thank you so much for listening to me. I hope I was at least a little bit coherent. I don't know about this. So if you are interested in going along with the ups and the downs of my husband's and my weight loss journey, we would love to have you subscribe, and if you like it, thumbs up, please. And I don't know what else I am supposed to say, but I am not professional. I am sorry. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.